Double up.
Champion.
Yes, sir. Stagnation. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Brazen. Today we're going to be talking about crypto winter, man. Let's discuss some lessons that we've learned from this crypto winter situation. Obviously, many people are new to crypto these days, right?
Yeah.
So are we. We're relatively new, you know. I did not buy Bitcoin at the beginning. I did not buy it when Satoshi was still running around on the what do they call it, on the forums and things like that. But you know, I was I don't want to say aware, but I was aware of its existence type. Now, over time, we have seen trends in the Bitcoin space as well as crypto. We have seen, you know, a lot of people who have declared themselves experts in this space as well, right? There's this other one called, what did they call it again? Zebra Boy Crypto. Okay, I don't want to call people's names because I hear they're suing these days. But we all know what it is, man. A lot of people who call themselves experts in the space have clearly misguided people, right? And I think for us especially, I think our journey through the crypto space, you know, it was there's no handbook, you know, so we kind of went through all of it, you know, whether it's just reading continuously, learning the hard way, right? Learning through experience.
University of the Hard Knocks.
Yes, University of Hard Knocks. So we jumped in ourselves. We've heard stuff from people, non-stop learning, to the point where we got to this point where we're like, okay, you got to zero in on what matters. Why is this thing here? And then kind of picking that mission, or really zeroing in on the mission of what it is and minimizing your losses. This is what investing is all about as well. So let's discuss some of the things that we have learned in this crypto winter specifically, right?
Yep.
And and maybe just throw some words of advice out there, maybe not necessarily advice, but just tips on what you would recommend that other people do.
Yep.
Take it away.
I'll say one of the first things that you probably want to learn, especially in the crypto winter, is that when things are down, actually at the best time for you to learn a lot more about the space, because everything is not popping up and you're trying to catch the next wave. Everything is literally going down, so you have more time to study and research. No need to rush or jump into buying any coin because of it's going up. So the first thing is that take your time and research and better understand the difference between Bitcoin and all the cryptos in the space.
Absolutely.
Inform yourself. Absolutely.
Inform yourself.
Yeah.
You know, one experience I remember was back in the day. We met with this is actually one of the craziest things. Remember back when we had, I think it was like a 4-hour meeting with a gentleman by the name of Ben.
Yes, smart guy. Right?
Very smart guy, man. And I hope that he is on the right path now. Okay, because first of all, I have to give him a lot of credit, man. He showed us a lot of things in crypto. And from there, we were just like in the Wild West, MetaMask all the way, staking,
leveraging, business,
right, man. Dude? I was leveraging, open leverage, the same things that have taken down Terra Luna and Celsius and all of these guys, because they were just doing it on a bigger scale. Yes. Yep. But then you now get to this point now where you're like, hey,
but you know what's funny though? It saw it coming. It knew it was coming.
Yes.
So I hope it got out early.
Well, here's the thing, because this is why I brought him up even. Remember that one of the biggest things that he was on about was this fact that Bitcoin was not going to be the one, right? He was talking about they're going to capture Bitcoin, all this. And the crazy thing is, like, he sounded like a Bitcoin maxi, but just on the wrong rails.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was like, Ethereum is the way, you gotta freaking do this. But I had my doubts. And I hope that he sees it as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it got into what's that NFT coin that
it was something where we were racing horses.
Solana. It got into Solana like at $2 or so, much cheaper than that.
He did
Solana
make
rode up
money
to like
there.
$200. That guy made a lot of money on that then.
He made a lot of money there. So I
Yeah,
hope for his own sake that he got out, man, because
yeah.
the crypto winter came. And which, speaking of crypto winter, man, I wonder, is crypto winter going by the normal weather calendar, or is crypto winter just
If that was the case, summer has come, spring came,
hey man?
summer
Because
came, and we're going back into winter right
listen,
now.
we've been in crypto winter for a long time, you know. So I think at this point in time, it's safe to say we can separate those calendars. There's a crypto calendar, and then there's a
The
normal
real
everyday
calendar.
calendar as well.
Yeah.
Because this crypto winter has been going for a very long time. But
Yeah.
during this time as well, I think one of the things that kind of came to the forefront, and I think that is actually positive, is this fact that with the crashing of all these scam operations, right? People started to go more into self custody. We did a live show on Gentleman of Crypto last weekend where we looked at some data showing that a lot of people started transferring their money into self custody. This is a good thing, especially on Bitcoin. I don't know about self custody for other crypto coins. Right? It's not my wheelhouse. It is what it is. But I think, especially for Bitcoin, it is really push people in the direction that this stuff is supposed to, I guess, more
Yeah.
to the functionality of these things, how it's supposed to be correctly used. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was the whole intent. That was the entire design, and
Right.
that's what we are also here to teach and educate people about. Is that when blockchain technology, specifically Bitcoin, was designed, it was
Mm.
designed for you to own and store your own sovereignty, your own value, and not give it to the hands of people like I'm wearing the T-shirt now. I mean,
Well,
but they have a lot of instruments in place to help secure it for you when you have millions and millions worth of Bitcoin. But if it's just you and I, that it's not like we're saving a bunch of hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin.
yeah.
You want to self custody, which is kind of funny. That's what Unchained Capital does. They store your Bitcoin for you
Mm.
if you have millions and millions of dollars of Bitcoin. But that said, though, you want to store your Bitcoin because that is basically the design of Bitcoin. That
Right.
way, you don't need the middleman, the central banks, or the banks, or Binance, fortunately,
Exactly.
or Coinbase.
But then I think that that also goes back to your initial point, which I think is a very important point. And really, the only point that there is in this situation is education, right? Take this time to study and understand what this space is all about, what Bitcoin provides, right, to society, to our lives. Because the reason why this thing is here is because of previous events that have happened.
Yeah.
They say history rhymes, and it may not repeat, but it rhymes.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that until people are able to have that ability to store their own value, like you said, then you're always going to be at the mercy of the banks, right?
Or geopolitics,
Geopolitics, right?
or your local government.
Yeah. Which on a larger scale, you can even see it, man. When you look at the
Yeah.
whole continent of Africa, man,
Yeah.
we are all at the mercy of other people who have shoved us into their central control, right? And until they say you can do something, you cannot do it. So if you're doing something that they don't like, they can easily take you out. So
Yeah.
that is the whole point of this thing.
Yeah.
Any other
Yeah.
idea
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
thoughts
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have from this crypto winter?
There is bind the dip,
Yes.
and there's dollar cost averaging. I've done that, and I'm still in the dip. But I think is this our first winter or is our second winter?
My second winter. Thanks.
Second winter or so, yeah. So the first winter wasn't that long. The first winter that we experienced wasn't that long, right? So I would say during our first winter we had a lot of altcoins. The second winter we had a lot more. Actually, I'm buying just like you were buying a lot more Bitcoin than I was buying altcoins before. But I've been dollar cost averaging on my altcoins, and I did not sell when I was at the top. So one of the lessons learned is that, especially when it comes to altcoin, if you're trading them or if you're holding them, Sell at the top, come back in the next winter, buy low.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, just old. If you want to sell some, take some gains, but definitely come back and buy more. Definitely dollar cost average if you have not gotten out. I think that's what I did. Not financial advice, but that's
Yeah.
one of the lessons I would say to pass on
Absolutely.
in the winter.
I cut my losses on the altcoins, you know, and
I
I
saw
just
you doing that,
decided,
and I was like, "Why are you doing that? These guys are gonna, especially the ones that I bought. I believed
yeah,
in, so I want to believe that they will come back. I was buying infrastructure-based altcoins, not a
nah,
bunch of
absolutely.
NFTs and stuff that people were buying.
I think for me, the reason why I decided to cut my losses on the altcoins was because and this is just me, man. It may not be everyone, but I think for me, like if anything does not start with truth, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Okay? From the get go, when I was investing in the space, which yeah, it's also ignorance on my part. I did not fully understand what was happening in the background, but it's like the more I learned and learned, I just felt cheated. You know, I just felt like, okay, these people are just pulling a quick one here. You're telling me that this thing is going to be decentralized. Turns out it's not going to be decentralized. There is rock pools left and right. You're saying it's secure. You're saying that there's an upgrade coming and it keeps going back and back and back and Cardano back. You know, it's just, I was like, yeah. And then I take that and I look at this other thing over here that is running. Nobody's controlling it and it's just working as it should have. I think for me, it's just more so like the peace of mind and the simplicity. And then you also start looking at the fact that the use case is there and it's really happening. So at that point, I was like, well, yes, I could wait and get back but at the same time, you know, obviously, like I did not have as much money in it as well. So I was like, I'm just going to cut my losses here and just start getting into the Bitcoin right away. So that's where I was with that one, you know. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, I think for me to invest in the altcoin situation again, and I get the idea of like let's say coin was going to be pumped, right? and you realize that it's going to be pumped or whatever the case might be, and you see an opportunity. I don't know. Is it bad to jump in and make some money? I don't think it's bad. Hey, look, man. If you see the TA and the TA is like, you know, a big green candle, like, okay, that looks like it's gonna pump. It's like Dogecoin, right? A lot of people got into that and make some money. Can't be mad at them. You know, you earn that, have that. But to keep holding it and thinking that it's gonna go to $1, that's where it becomes a problem.
It's going to $1.
Okay, well, see,
It's all right.
I'm praying for you guys, man. You know what I mean? Massive prayers, you know. So, prayer warriors. That's where I am for y'all right now. We'll see what happens, man. It's back to what now? Is it 6 cents?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah. Struggling.
Yeah. So,
The
it is
shape
one
of
of those
the
things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, but I think at the end of the day, you know, it's just really understanding why you're getting into things, understanding your play. Have a strategy. You must have a strategy. You can't just buy things because they're there. You have to have a strategy. It does not matter what you want to buy. Even if you're going to trade, there are people still making money on Dogecoin just trading it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's their call, but they have a strategy.
Classic.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think the last thing I would say here is that the crypto space is huge.
yeah.
But like I said at the beginning, what I said at the beginning is similar to what I'm going to say last. Once you understand what blockchains are and where we have cryptocurrencies, you quickly understand that a lot of these cryptocurrencies are doing the same thing, or a lot of them have made promises that they have not met yet.
Yes.
So find the ones that actually have real use cases that are currently being used. And Bitcoin happens to be number one on the list when it comes to digital money and the liberation that it's going to give you. Yes, Ethereum has its goals, but do not fall for the falsification of decentralization. It's basically Web 2.0, but just change the around to make it look like Web 3.0. It's still the same centralized control. The architecture is what got decentralized, but the ownership is still fully centralized. So yeah, take your time to understand that, and I think you should be good. The future is blockchain for sure. We know that. You just want to be in the right place. Don't throw your money away.
This is true, and I'm totally fine with that. Like I would invest in Ethereum, right? But I think that the conditions that have to be met for me to invest in Ethereum is for I guess, some sort of safety, regulation, and assurance,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then finding a I guess would you say business case, right? Because at the end of the day, bro, we're investors, and the goal is to make money. Like there's kind of like no two ways about it. People may think that is maybe not a good thing to say, or people kind of act shy away from the idea that they're trying to make money. It's whatever, dude. Okay, people don't get rich by not making money.
Mm-hmm.
If you're investing, bro, making money is the number one goal. Period.
Yeah.
There is no two ways about it, right? With Bitcoin, yes, okay, I see the use case, right? And it's something that I believe in deeper. That's why if Bitcoin keeps going down, I don't feel bad about it. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, even if Bitcoin was $1, it would still function in the same way. And I think that functionality is beyond anything. Okay. Mm-hmm. With everything else, man, where is the money? Show me the money. That's just where I'm at. Okay. Because, yeah, it might improve my life here and there, but I don't think that there's anything significant that is lacking right now that Ethereum or these other coins are bringing to my life. So for me, it's just more like looking at an investment opportunity. It's like you're running a hedge fund, right? At the end of the day, man, you have to make money for your stakeholders. Yeah. If you don't have money, if you cannot make money for your shareholders, you get fired. Period.
Yeah. Ethereum will work well for big businesses, like in the logistics space. Moving money faster, maybe moving supplies faster, developing applications, smart contracts around a lot of business deals. Ethereum will be very great for that. It's still in the early phase, I would say. Banks could use that as well. But Bitcoin gives you your own sovereignty. Like, it helps the everyday man, like you and I, like, coming out of high school kind of person. Bitcoin is for you. But if you're a big money mover, big money spender, yeah, for sure, man.
Hey, man, I know a lot of people keep looking at the guy who bought bought pizza with his Bitcoins, and they're like, what the heck, man. The good thing is there are strategies to use your Bitcoin without even selling it.
Yep.
So that's the other side of it. But we can dive into that one in another video. And I'm also excited for some of the video ideas that we're going to be coming up with soon, just looking at the geopolitical situation and Bitcoin. I'm so excited for that, man, because at the end of the day, no matter how much people talk about Bitcoin, man, if we cannot implement it and actually start using it, it's kind of pointless. And we need to be more aggressive in our push to make that happen. You know what I mean? It's like BRICS, right? They're not asking NATO if they can create their own reserve currency. They're creating it. Right? And if someone wants to do something about it, they can meet them at their table. It is what it is.
And why can't BRICS use Bitcoin as their reserve currency? That would be awesome.
So there is that. But for that to happen, man, I think Bitcoiners need to push the move. And then if they have a problem, we can talk about it then. Yeah. Any final thoughts, sir, before we close this one out?
I mean, if you ever need help to learn how to move your Bitcoin into your own self-custody, hit us up. We'll be glad to help you out. That's what we do. Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, please feel free to follow us on our social media pages. We're also going to be on Rumble. It's definitely somewhere we're going to be going to, because who knows what YouTube is up to these days. You know what I mean? I cannot explain the sudden dive in our viewership, man, because we're doing all the same things we used to do before. I know our channel is small, but some things just don't make sense. We're supposed to be in an upward trajectory, but we have hit a plateau. Why? I don't get it. So, and we did get a warning on one video a while back. So, anyway, it is what it is.
Over the same soundtrack with the same license that we had.
Bro, we paid for that license. Let's leave it alone, man. You should just leave it alone. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, praise and out.
Double O.